for not having the KPI report within your packet. Originally, because it is a draft report, there was some discussion about, as we talked about last time, the current budget, revised commitment, and spent to date numbers do not align for all the projects. And so it was pulled out of the report this time initially because we wanted to make sure we had time to go back and work on trying to correct the numbers, or I shouldn't say correct, but align the numbers with the actual spent to date. If you recall last time that the report on the spent to date was the first time that we've actually had the spent to date numbers actually running since June 13, I believe was the date.
Yes.
So that was one of the additions to the KPI. So when the actual spent to date numbers were run, it helps highlight where we're having deficiencies within the report itself. So we met with Tom earlier tonight, talked about why it wasn't in your packet, but we also discussed that it was better to present it to the committee and let you know where we were, not trying to hide anything, wanted to be transparent. So you know, moving forward, we're working on trying to reconcile the revised commitments with our spent to date numbers, and there's just several reasons for that. And that's really some of the old BITEC numbers coming in, blending with the Munis numbers, and blending with small projects that are purchases that happen that are not accounted for within Primavera. And it's making sure they align. It's not that they're not accounted, but sometimes those numbers are not added into the particular sub-project line items within Primavera. So anyways, I apologize, but you do have the report, and we are moving forward. One of the things that we do want to highlight in the report tonight, though, is that we've added a new section to the report. If you notice, the report talks about project types. And so what this gives you is actually the project type, and on the third page, there's actually a definition or a summary of what those mean. So you have renovation, rebuild, under construction, and waiting to rebuild. And so if you look down the first column, it's very easy to tell what project. So Bayview, it's been renovated. And then moving across, it talks about column A is actually pre-construction, planning or design. And then B is construction, C is closeout or completed, D is actually other. And that has to do with some of the IT items. And I think that's one of the areas we're going to go back and do some more definition on, because it's kind of gray and ambiguous. So we want to kind of clear that up to make sure everybody understands what it is. But as you add those over, they'll actually add to all your total sub-projects for the site. So.
Yeah, and I think we, just one minor correction, we did, on the previous version of it, we did have project types. That had been in there, but very much appreciate that we got the next set of A through E columns, sub-columns there, which really helped us. And could I quickly draw attention to De Anza High School on the second page? Because I remember when the CBOC toured that facility, and everybody was so ecstatic to see what just a tremendous facility is. And we said, wow, look at this thing all finished. Well, wait a minute, it's not really finished, and we didn't quite understand. And so I think we're increasingly getting an understanding, and you can see that De Anza has a total of 16 sub-projects over the course of that school site's life, or its project total. And you can see it's a $130 million-ish school thing. But the point is, you can see from this breakdown now that there are 14 of the 16 total sub-projects that are in completion/closeout. And there's only one active one in construction. And let's see, that must be item 14 on our project status report. And see, that's the part I think is so cool, if we all can kind of see how these things cross-pollinate and so forth. I just think this is so helpful for us to understand. Now, let me point out one other quick set of numbers which doesn't tick and tie particularly. When you look at the 38 elementary school sites, there are a total of 9 listed on the KPI, which was, again, look up at the top, January 28th at 5:59 p.m. today. So there are a total of 9 in the Primavera system that are said to be, active in construction, right? Middle school, 6, so we got 15. High school's 9, that's 24. Well, there's only 20 listed on the active project status report, but that's as of January 23rd. So I just, you know what I'm saying? I think it's close. We can say it's like horseshoes, but it's not exact, and I think as part of a tight operation that we got here, which represents, of the $9 billion that the state is considering for total facilities, look at us at $1.6 billion. I mean, anyway, we got this massive construction program, and I just think it's number tightness like this that is, I think it just suggests that we have this all under control. And I'm just saying with these new added columns, we can do that kind of ticking and tying. And I'd welcome further comments or suggestions over time that we can use to adjust this particular school's KPI summary report. Notice, by the way, and I know we're really late, but I gotta get this stuff on the record. Because I don't wanna, I was very upset tonight when we had our candid meeting beforehand. And I want you to realize on page 3, when you look at spent to date, hey, we've only spent 1.145 billion, and we got 1.259 billion, you know, committed, contractual commitments. Hey, what's the big deal? We're okay. It's in the actual school project line items where this alignment and stuff that Louis is talking about is important. And I think that's the kind of level of detail that we hopefully will become increasingly comfortable with as a committee. So please spend some time with this on your own if you would, and then let's work on any improvements we need to.
Any questions about your notes? Can you help me understand the codes for Linda? It says the project type is 4, which says waiting to be rebuilt, but then on column B it has 1 construction project. So what does that mean?
So Linda, so it is under design, so it wouldn't be rebuilt. And so it does have one project out there. And I believe that was the renovation of the restrooms.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
And I think it also points out, I need to add to that kind, that's a great observation, I appreciate that. I just really love us to dig into this stuff. Where the overall Olinda Elementary School site, overall, including the sum total of its 14 sub-projects, is in fact a waiting to be rebuilt. But in fact, as we're pointing out, there will be a project or 2 or 3 or whatever that will move along. And some of those numbers under the project sites will over time become stable, quite frankly, as we start doing things.
I'll just take this conversation, but it would be helpful. All this is wonderful information. We've waited a very long time to have staff provide us with this kind of clarity. When we have the project status report, which are projects currently under construction, they should match the KPI report. As an example, the Collins Elementary School is slated for actual completion in May 2014, but it doesn't appear on here. And just a few things such as that since we have 2 reports, then they should correspond.
And we'd agree.
All right, thank you very much, and we will now move on to our subcommittee reports.